Welcome back, Halo followers. Today we are going to be breaking down Halo Infinite's gameplay and cutscenes, the version from 2020, which had a lot of controversy around it, versus the 2021 updated version of this cutscene and this gameplay, as well as some brand new gameplay with some hunters. So guys, be sure to smash that like button blue and subscribe. Join me on the journey of following Halo. So firstly, we see the scene with the pilot. This is actually coming from Game Informer, and you can actually watch the full clip down in the link in the description. But right away, you see that there's just, I feel like there's not a whole lot of difference here, but you know, it's a little bit more orange on this side. I believe that there's a bit better, I mean, look at the eye. I mean, the eye was just like black, kind of looked a little bit dead inside here. But, you know, it just generally looks better. I don't know maybe all the technical terms to explain what's going on here, but I just know that it looks better. So one thing I really want to point out about this moment here is, which was a huge criticism I think everyone had, which was, since this is after a war, things should be more scuffed up, more destroyed, more, you know, scratched. And we see that specifically with Master Chief's armor. We've seen that in the other cutscenes so far this month with just a lot of new cutscenes and gameplay, but specifically this is a huge thing. Master Chief survived a war, man. His armor should be damaged, and we see that between the 2021 on the left side, the newer stuff on the left side, versus the old stuff on the right side. His armor just looks too pristine. It doesn't look like he was in a war here. But I think that we're going to be seeing this like general theme around everywhere, as we see in a moment here in the gameplay. Everyone's just a lot more scuffed up. Even the pilot, I believe he's maybe I don't know, he is scuffed up in the original, but it's a little bit easier to see in the newer stuff on the left side. Now I just want you guys to look at this assault rifle. Look how flat it looks. I mean, this looks, I want to remind you guys that they were actually going to release Halo Infinite. All right, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. They were planning on releasing this game as is. So I believe criticism is important to Halo. It is the reason why we are getting the game looking good now. It is the reason why this game is playing much better. Whatever they planned last year was what we were going to have. Whatever they had last year was what we were going to get. So here we have this, baby. Look at this. This is so much better. Again, the hex walls look much better. I think they could still use a little bit of improvement from a long distance. It even looks from a far distance that there is a texture being ripped or torn across the environment, but I don't know if there's much you can do about that. They decided to go with the hex walls as like this environmental piece. But yeah, this is what we got now, guys. The lighting on the trees is far better, right? The fog that we see in the distance, as well as the water, is great. And this isn't such a visual improvement as it's like an aesthetic change, but look how pristine and perfect everything is. I know it's been 6 months since the war, but the pilot did just crash here. I mean, there should be smoke, there should be rubble kicked up, you know, there should be just destruction everywhere, dead grass, you know, the environment was really destroyed. You know, I know environments grow back, but pine trees take a long time to grow back. So there should be a lot of destroyed pine trees, which we do see here in a moment. But the fact that the environment is destroyed, torn up, I really do feel like we're now on a Halo ring that did experience some kind of war. You know, it's just these smaller changes that really do make everything look better. Of course, the weapons are starting to give that specular, you know, look. It really does fit into the environment. Hex walls look great, much better, especially up close. They're actually reflecting. They actually have some detail and textures on them, whereas before they did not. Now, the lighting, I won't say is phenomenal, but this time of day, honestly, this is how it looks in real life. I mean, I've seen, I don't know if y'all ever seen, like, in real life, there's just bad lighting. It doesn't look like a map was rendered right in real life. That's what a nerd says. But anyway, this is what we had before, and it really did not look good. It was just like this gray, overcast, even though it was a blue sky. You know, I don't really know what they were planning here, but this is what we got now, right? It is like a night and day difference. And specifically, I think it's just like this orange fog that's kind of reflecting with the real-time lighting, because if you don't know or don't remember, that is the reason why the lighting was so bad in the first place, because we are having real-time lighting. It is changing throughout the game as we play. So the fact is that we have fog reacting with the light. We have trees reacting to the light as well. You know, I think it could still be improved, but this is much better. It's acceptable now, I think, to a lot of people. Probably will be acceptable to a lot of people. I love the destruction in the environment as well. I love that the water blends into the environment too. And the banished structures have never looked better, as well as the UNSC structures here. I think everything that we gather in this game, UNSC destroyed, ships and stuff should be destroyed as well. Like the Warthog should be kind of damaged, weapons should probably be a little bit damaged, low on ammo, things like that. But this is really great. This is really a big improvement. And this is what we had before. Again, looks kind of not great, I mean, I would say this is probably one of the better moments in the gameplay, but this is different lighting entirely on the left though, so it's kind of hard to make a direct comparison. But so far, I think this just looks much more acceptable on the left side. I wonder how lighting is going to work at night. I think everything's going to be pretty visible. I don't think it's going to be like pitch black or anything, as we see in the gameplay here soon when Master Chief fights against two hunters. But yeah, the gameplay just looks much better. And when lighting does come in, it really does make the dark part of the map shine. I would like to see more fog, and I don't really know where all this light is coming from. I would like to see more volumetrics going on here. But with that being said, guys, I mean, this is probably what we're going to be getting here in a couple weeks when the gameplay, when the campaign does drop. So it's just a lot more acceptable, a lot better. Unfortunately, they don't have direct comparison between this part of the gameplay, like the whole 2020 reveal, which is kind of disappointing. They keep swapping back between Master Chief fighting these two hunters, which looks interesting. But at night, man, I really do love the blend between like the blue at night and the banished red lights. I mean, it is naturally just making the environment look so good. It puts these, I mean, blue and red always go good together, right, with the lighting. But this is just, I love the fog. I love the fog. I won't even mind a little bit of depth of field, honestly. Maybe they added that, maybe not, but yeah, this is really beautiful. So lastly, we get a comparison between 2021's gameplay and 2020's gameplay, or rather this little cinematic here. So I really can't state that much has changed. I've looked closely. I know that they've added some more details on his armor. As you can see, they've added some more textures, some more damage, I guess. Like it's like more visible everywhere. So that's a big improvement. It's not quite as, Escharum isn't as quite as creepy as I hoped he would be, like in the final gameplay. Maybe he is, I don't know, but I do appreciate the extra details. It looks like they could have, a lot of this stuff could have already been here. It's just the hologram effect wasn't super great. But I'm glad that the hologram effect is looking cool. It's looking much more like Halo Wars 2's blur scenes. So, but guys, I want to point out this part as well. This is like night and day difference, man. The right is old, left is new. Okay, look at the rays pouring in. Master Chief's armor's, kind of reflecting all the damage on it. You got all this fog and all this like lighting on the rocks and on the ground and the grass. And before, there was none of that, dude. There was none of that. We got all this fog and just light rays pouring through the trees, and the lighting is just being very responsive to, I guess, the real-time lighting here. And even the water, man, I mean, it looks very realistic, but it's still retaining that cartoony look, the Halo art style, I should say, right? Retaining the Halo art style, just call it the cartoony effect sometimes. But yeah, very cool stuff. Very excited to see the whole game now. I mean, this is looking much better. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. I'll catch you soon. Bye.